Respect is not something freely given. It is something earned through the consistency of your character and the unwavering strength of your resolve. When faced with disrespect, the temptation to react impulsively can be overwhelming. But consider this: respect begins within you. If you cannot respect yourself, how can you expect others to do so? It is not their actions that define your worth, but your response to those actions. And in life, there will always be individuals who underestimate you, dismiss your contributions, or undermine your value. Yet their failure to recognize your worth says more about them than it does about you. I promise you that even though they don't know your worth, it doesn't make you less of their equal, because we are all part of this and this is part of us. So when we remember that the journey to your best self begins long before you take the first step, it starts as a flicker, a faint image in your mind of something greater, something better. It begins with a vision. You see, vision is not just a passive dream. It is the seed from which transformation grows. A clear vision gives life direction, purpose, and meaning. Without it, you're like a ship drifting aimlessly on an endless sea, at the mercy of the tides and the winds. Without it, but when you have a vision, when you truly see where you want to go, everything changes. Greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who dare to see it before it exists. Think about that for a moment. Everything extraordinary that has ever been achieved started as nothing more than an idea in someone's mind. The tallest skyscraper was once a sketch on paper. The most moving symphony was once silent. The greatest breakthroughs in human history began with someone imagining what could be rather than accepting what is. So when confronted with disrespect, pause and reflect. This moment is an opportunity to rise above, not sink below. Reacting with anger or frustration often gives power to the very individuals who seek to diminish you. As the old adage goes, never wrestle with a pig. You both get dirty and the pig likes it. Instead, choose to maintain your dignity. Respect is a currency, and by refusing to engage in petty battles, you increase its value. Strength comes from boundaries, and establishing them is a profound act of self-respect. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If you permit disrespect to linger unchallenged, you inadvertently signal that it is acceptable. But boundaries do not have to be harsh or aggressive. They can be firm, yet kind. A quiet confidence often speaks louder than the loudest shout. You do not have to justify your worth to anyone. Any way you look, rejection or neglect, where someone often speaks louder than the loudest shout. You do not have to justify your worth to anyone. Your existence is enough reason to demand respect, and your actions will reinforce that demand. But you have that same power. You possess within you the ability to envision a life so extraordinary that it makes you leap out of bed in the morning filled with purpose and drive. But here's the truth: having a vision isn't enough. It must be more than a fleeting thought or a passing wish. It must burn within you like a fire that refuses to be extinguished. As the saying goes, a vision without action is merely a dream, but action without vision is a nightmare. I held it to a level that my eye couldn't see and refused to experience things with. I became less than what I thought I was. As the saying goes, a vision without action is merely a dream. Then action without vision is a nightmare. You need both. Belief is the bridge between vision and reality. It's easy to look at your dreams and think, that's too big for me, I'm not ready, I'm not capable. But who told you that? Who decided what you are or aren't capable of? The greatest obstacle you will ever face is not out there in the world. It's the voice in your own head that whispers, you can't. And here's the thing. That voice isn't telling the truth. It's the product of fear, doubt, and past failures trying to protect you from the discomfort of growth. But growth is never comfortable. It's messy, it's painful, and it's uncertain. Yet it is the only path to becoming the person you were meant to be. Think about the people you respect most in your life. Are they the loudest, the angriest, or the most reactive? Likely, they are the ones who exude a quiet strength, who walk with purpose, and who command attention without demanding it. That is the kind of person you must strive to be. When someone disrespects you, it is often a reflection of their insecurities, not your inadequacies. Do not take their actions personally. Instead, focus on your growth, your path, and your integrity. One of the most effective ways to handle disrespect is through competence. When you become undeniably good at what you do, people have no choice but to respect you, even if they dislike you. Excellence silences critics and drowns out negativity. It is not about proving them wrong, but about proving yourself right. Invest in yourself, sharpen your skills, and cultivate a mindset of relentless self-improvement. As you rise, the noise of disrespect will fade into the background, replaced by the undeniable weight of your accomplishments. The more stable your truth, the more respectful you are to other people, the more powerful you are to yourself. So in that container, taking the only water in you is the wisest and richest gift you can give to the other. When you believe in your vision, something remarkable happens. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You find solutions where others see problems. You realize that the power to create the life you want has been within you all along. As Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Your belief shapes your actions, and your actions shape your reality. We all pray we preach. We all pray we share. But the question is, having from the heart, are we walking to the church with us, with your wife? But belief alone isn't enough either. You must pair it with relentless effort. No one becomes their best self by accident. It takes discipline, dedication, and the willingness to fail over and over again. And failure is not the end, it's a step on the path. Failure is feedback, a teacher, a reminder that you are daring to strive for something beyond your current self. Every time you fall, you have a choice. Stay down or rise again, stronger and wiser. However, there is also wisdom in choosing your battles. Not every slight, insult, or moment of disrespect requires a response. The oak tree does not concern itself with the opinion of weeds. Sometimes the greatest show of strength is walking away, preserving your energy for what truly matters. Your time and attention are finite resources. Spend them on people and pursuits that uplift you, not on those who seek to tear you down. And don't think for a moment that this journey is meant to be easy. The path to your best self is not paved with comfort and convenience. It's forged in struggle and sacrifice. But that's where the magic happens. That's where you discover who you really are. As Friedrich Nietzsche famously said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. When your vision is clear and your belief is unshakable, you find the strength to endure, to persevere, to rise above whatever life throws at you. But wherever you go from here, this is where your mission is and your vision, to rise above whatever life throws at you. Empathy, though often overlooked, can be a powerful tool in handling disrespect. Seek to understand why someone acts the way they do. Often, disrespect stems from fear, pain, or a lack of understanding. This does not excuse their behavior, but it provides context. Responding with kindness and composure can disarm even the most antagonistic individuals. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, but a moment of compassion can plant the seed of change. It will often grow the further we consider that your behavior is not completely correct, that you do not perform at the level that you're perceived. Now, let me tell you something else about vision. It's not static. It evolves as you grow. The person you are today is not the same person you'll be tomorrow. And that's a good thing. It means you're alive, learning, and changing. Don't be afraid to let your vision expand, to dream bigger than you ever thought possible. What seemed out of reach yesterday can become your reality tomorrow if you're willing to keep moving forward. Picture your future, and you need to allow it to shift. In order to grow, you have to be present, and you have to give your future if you literally, yet never confuse empathy with weakness. To stand up for yourself is not to abandon kindness, but to balance it with strength. Speak with clarity and conviction when addressing disrespect. Use words that assert your position without belittling the other person. A calm and measured response is far more impactful than a heated argument. It shows that you are in control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. I have to be in control of the decisions that are being made around me. And if I'm not doing that emotionally, then not just of the situation, but of yourself. At times, silence is the loudest statement you can make. Refuse to dignify disrespect with a reaction. Let your silence speak volumes about your self-assuredness. In a world that often rewards loudness, your calmness can be a revolutionary act. People will notice, and in time, they will respect the unwavering steadiness of your character. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who push you to be better. The journey to your best self is not one you take alone. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. Find mentors, allies, and friends who believe in you, who remind you of your vision when you lose sight of it. And just as importantly, be that person for others. Inspire them, encourage them, and lift them up. Because when you help others rise, you rise too. And let's not forget the importance of gratitude on this journey. It's easy to get so focused on the destination that you forget to appreciate the progress you've made. Take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, the lessons you've learned, and the strength you've gained. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you of the beauty in the present moment, even as you strive for something greater. Ultimately, the way you handle disrespect is a testament to who you are, not who they are. Character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. In moments of conflict, your character is revealed not by the insults you hurl back, but by the grace with which you carry yourself. Do not allow others to dictate your behavior or your worth. You are the author of your story, and no one else holds the pen. Remember, life is not a popularity contest. You will not be liked or respected by everyone, and that is okay. Focus on building relationships with those who see your value and contribute positively to your journey. Let go of the need for external validation, and instead cultivate a sense of inner respect. When you respect yourself, others will follow suit. Not because you demand it, but because it becomes impossible not to. So what does your best self look like? Close your eyes and picture it. See it with such clarity that it feels real. Imagine the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you face challenges with courage and grace. Imagine the impact you have on the world around you. That's who you are meant to be. That's the life you are capable of living. That's the life you're capable of living. But remember, it all starts with you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. You have to do the work. You have to make the choice every single day to align your actions with your vision. And some days will be harder than others. Some days you'll want to give up. But in those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the person you are becoming, the life you are creating. You are creating a life for yourself and your future, and you have everything that it takes to spiritually design and create a life of your dreams. Every challenge you face, including disrespect, is an opportunity to grow stronger. Each moment of adversity sharpens your resolve and shapes your character. Use these experiences not as setbacks, but as stepping stones. Rise above the noise, stand tall, and let your actions speak louder than any words ever could. Respect is not about forcing others to see your worth. It is about embodying it so fully that they have no choice but to acknowledge it. Respect is not about forcing the words but to acknowledge it. Empowerment is not something that comes from the outside. It is forged within, often in the crucible of adversity. Life, with all its complexities and challenges, will inevitably bring you face to face with moments of disrespect. These moments can shake you, make you question your worth, and even tempt you to retaliate. But there lies a crucial truth. How you handle such situations defines not only your character, but the trajectory of your life. There is a paradox. You should be ready and willing to face or overcome, but whatever happens, you will eventually be prepared for the trajectory of your life. If you allow the disrespect of others to dictate your actions, you surrender your power. To empower yourself, you must reclaim that power, not through force or anger, but through grace, strength, and an unyielding commitment to your own growth. To stand for what you believe and to stop allowing unworthy actions to happen, whether that be physical or emotional. To have the hard conversations, to know the difference between right and wrong, to have the bravery and the courage, to know the difference between right and wrong. The first step in responding to disrespect is understanding that it is not about you. Often, when people treat you poorly, it has more to do with their own insecurities, frustrations, or fears. They project their inner turmoil onto others, hoping to find some semblance of control. Recognizing this truth does not excuse their behavior, but it shifts your perspective. Instead of internalizing their negativity, you can see it for what it is, a reflection of their struggles, not your shortcomings. In shifting that truth to your heart and energy, you can see it for what it is, a reflection of their struggles, not your shortcomings. You can't control how others treat you, but you can always control how you respond. That control is your superpower, the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. And the rest of us, our resilience, comfort levels, and tolerances are completely of no concern. This journey is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than the person you were yesterday. And when you stumble, when you doubt, when you feel like you can't take another step, remember this. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. And you are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. So go out there and chase your vision with everything you've got. Believe in yourself even when it feels impossible. Take action even when it's uncomfortable. And never, ever stop striving to be the best version of yourself, because the world needs what only you can bring. True empowerment begins with self-respect. If you do not hold yourself in high regard, it becomes all too easy to absorb the judgments and insults of others. Respect is not arrogance. It is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. It's the ability to look in the mirror and say, I am enough, regardless of the noise around you. And when you respect yourself, you naturally teach others how to treat you. People sense your boundaries and your self-worth without you having to utter a single word. It's like a light you carry, one that demands acknowledgement and commands respect. Several different ways this comes through, including making it clear, sharing a truth, and most importantly, moving toward wisdom. So let me ask yourself this week, and because deep down, you know you were made for more. Life is not a gentle path. It's a series of challenges, trials, and barriers. Yet within every barrier lies an opportunity to grow into the person you are meant to be. The walls you face are not there to stop you. They're there to show you what you're capable of when you push beyond them. Most people live their lives confined by invisible limits, shackled by fears, doubts, and the weight of past failures. But let me tell you this, those barriers are not the end of the road. They are invitations to rise, to transform, and to unleash the extraordinary potential that lies dormant within you. When someone disrespects you, it's essential to resist the urge to respond impulsively. Emotional reactions often serve to escalate the situation, leaving you feeling drained and powerless. Instead, take a step back and breathe. This simple act of pause creates a space between the stimulus and your response, a space where your power resides. In that space, you can choose a response that aligns with your values rather than succumbing to the chaos of the moment. As the saying goes, he who angers you controls you. Don't let anyone have that power over you, because the only people that do have that power are the people that are running around in the chaos. Empowerment also requires action. It's not enough to stay silent and hope the disrespect fades away. Addressing the issue calmly and assertively is an act of courage. Speak your truth with clarity and confidence, not to seek validation, but to stand firm in your values. Say what needs to be said, but say it with grace. Strength is not in the volume of your voice, but in the weight of your words. Let your words carry the strength of conviction, not the bitterness of retaliation. We often look at obstacles as enemies, as something to be avoided or feared, but in truth, they are the greatest teachers we will ever have. Adversity does not create character, it reveals it. It strips away the masks we wear, the excuses we make, and forces us to confront the essence of who we are. You see, comfort is a seductive trap. It lulls us into complacency, convincing us that staying in our safe little bubble is the right choice. But growth never happens in comfort. Growth happens when you step into discomfort, when you willingly walk into the fire, knowing it will burn away the parts of you that no longer serve your journey. At the same time, there is wisdom in choosing your battles. Not every instance of disrespect deserves your attention. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Silence can be a powerful message, one that conveys your refusal to be dragged into pettiness. It's not about ignoring the problem. It's about prioritizing your peace over pointless conflicts. Save your energy for the fights that matter, the ones that contribute to your growth, your goals, and your well-being. In the grand scheme of your life, most slights are mere distractions, not defining moments. The people you break up with are not your friends for the rest of your life, and certainly not the ones who shaped your character and passion and relationships. The people who broke up with you were not ideal for your growth or learning experiences. The question isn't whether you will face challenges. You will. The question is how you will respond. Will you shrink back in fear, letting the weight of your doubts pull you down? Or will you stand up, face the storm, and take one step forward, even if your legs are trembling? Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. And make no mistake, fear will always be there. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But fear is not your enemy. It's a signal. It's a sign that you are standing at the edge of something significant, something worth fighting for yourself. When you are carefree and you are yourself, you can live your life the way you ultimately were meant to live. And the truth is, most of the limits you face are self-imposed. They are not real. They are the stories you've been telling yourself. Stories rooted in past pain, disappointment, or the judgment of others. Somewhere along the way, you decided to believe those stories. You decided that you weren't smart enough, strong enough, or worthy enough. But here's the thing, those stories are not facts. They are interpretations. And the reason is because we think those stories are not facts. They are interpretations. And just as you chose to believe them, you can choose to rewrite them. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. I welcome you to the Strategic Coach. There is also a profound strength in forgiveness. Forgiving someone who disrespects you does not mean condoning their behavior or inviting them back into your life. It means freeing yourself from the weight of their actions. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy stone. Over time, it burdens you more than it impacts them. Forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. It's a declaration that you will not let their negativity define your journey. Forgiveness is a declaration that you will not let their negativity define your journey. Another powerful tool in healing disrespect is self-improvement. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, the opinions of others lose their grip on you. Excellence is its own defense. When you excel in your endeavors, when you stand out through competence and character, people cannot help but take notice. It shifts the dynamic. disrespect becomes irrelevant because your actions speak louder than their words ever could. People will say what you are doing isn't kind, and what they say isn't disrespect because you're smart, kind, generous, and patient. Success is the best revenge, they say, but it's more than that. Success is the ultimate form of empowerment, a testament to your ability to rise above and thrive. Every great achievement, every act of greatness began with someone deciding to break through a barrier. The greatest athletes, artists, and innovators didn't succeed because it was easy. They succeeded because they refused to let their limitations define them. They understood that the greatest battle is always within. It's not the external barriers that hold you back. It's the internal ones. The voice that says, "This is too hard," or "You'll never make it," is the only thing standing between you and your potential. But that voice is not the truth. It's fear dressed up as reason. And you have the power to silence it. Empathy, though often underestimated, is another cornerstone of empowerment. Understanding the perspective of those who disrespect you can be disarming. It doesn't mean you tolerate their behavior, but it allows you to approach the situation with a level of compassion that often surprises them. When you respond with empathy, you take control of the narrative. You refuse to be dragged down to their level, choosing instead to rise above with dignity. Kindness is not a weakness, it's a superpower, and sometimes that kindness can plant a seed of change in the heart of the other person. You are stronger than you think. You have endured more than you give yourself credit for. Think back to the hardest moment in your life, the time when you thought you couldn't go on, but you did. You're here now. And that means you have already proven your resilience, your strength, and your ability to rise. So why doubt yourself now? Why let the shadows of the past dictate the light of your future? Why let the shadows of the past dictate the light of your future? As the poet Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote, "The only journey is the one within." We are all on a journey to find our own true purpose, our true passion, and our true peace every day. At the core of empowerment is the realization that your worth is not up for debate. You are not defined by the opinions or actions of others. You are defined by your values, your principles, and the legacy you choose to leave behind. Every act of disrespect is an opportunity to reaffirm who you are and what you stand for. Let those moments become milestones in your journey, reminders of your strength and resilience. Breaking barriers is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about showing up day after day, even when it feels like you're making no progress. Growth is slow, and it's often invisible at first, but every step you take matters. Every small victory builds momentum, and over time, those tiny actions compound into something extraordinary. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. What happens if you took that first step and you're like, all you need is the courage to begin? And let's be honest, this journey is not without pain. Transformation is messy. It requires sacrifice, effort, and the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. But the pain of growth is far better than the pain of regret. The pain of regret comes from staying where you are, from knowing deep down that you are capable of more, but refusing to try. It's the pain of looking back and realizing you let fear win. But the thing that drives you is the pain of looking forward, by refusing to try. It's the pain of looking back and realizing you let fear win. Don't let that be your story. You are capable of so much more than you realize, but you have to believe it before you can see it. And so many people look at Larry and for one reason or another put their own narratives in their head, thinking that they can't be successful when the old ones are still working powerfully. So what do you want? Life is not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them with courage and grace. The way you handle disrespect is a reflection of your inner strength, your ability to stay rooted in your values despite external chaos. Remember, empowerment is not a destination, it's a daily practice. It's the choices you make in every interaction, the way you carry yourself in every moment. When you consistently choose self-respect, composure, and kindness, you build a foundation of empowerment that no one can shake. In the end, it's not about proving others wrong or demanding their respect. It's about proving to yourself that you are worthy of respect, regardless of whether it is given or withheld. That realization, that unshakable truth, is the ultimate form of empowerment. And when you embody it fully, the world around you will take notice. Not because you asked for it, but because it is impossible not to. Until we ask for it, until we believe in it enough, the world around you will take notice. Success is not a straight line. It's a winding road full of detours, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. And every time you get back up, you grow stronger. As Thomas Edison said after thousands of failed attempts to create the light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had stopped at attempt 9,999. How many times have you been rejected from ideas? How many times have you been told when you think you got it, you probably don't have it, that you have to figure it out and you don't have it? Imagine what the world would have lost if he had let failure define him. And now imagine what the world will lose if you do the same. You are not put on this earth to play small. You were not born to live a life of mediocrity, confined by the walls of fear and self-doubt. You were born to shine, to create, to inspire, and to make a difference. But you can only do that if you are willing to break through the barriers that hold you back. You can only do that if you are willing to take responsibility for your life and your choices and your inspirations. As a parent, you have a responsibility for your kids and to move them forward, following their heart and their passion. No one else can do it for you. No one else can walk your path. But here's the good news. You already have everything you need. The strength, the courage, the wisdom, it's all within you. All you have to do is tap into it, right? And unless we realize that we have all the power we need to deal with stress, we're more likely to find ourselves spiraling deeper and deeper. And when you do, something remarkable happens. You start to see yourself differently. You start to realize that you are not defined by your past or your circumstances. You are defined by the choices you make and the actions you take. And as you begin to break through your barriers, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a ripple that spreads outward, touching the lives of everyone around you. And the way you do that creates an environment of courage that allows everyone to be themselves, but directly creates a better world that spreads outward, touching the lives of everyone around you. And isn't that what it's all about? Making a difference, not just for yourself, but for the world. So I ask you, what barriers are you ready to break? What excuses are you willing to let go of? What extraordinary version of yourself are you ready to unleash? The journey will not be easy, but it will be worth it. And at the end of it all, you'll look back and realize that the barriers weren't there to stop you. They were there to show you who you truly are. You are capable of extraordinary things. Believe it, embrace it, and never stop moving forward. Because the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. And today, right now, is the perfect time to let them go.